Hi everyone, welcome back to Geterbrewed. Today I want to give you a little insight into something that we don't often share. It's our craft distillery called Frankie Eileen's. Neil and I have been working together for a very long time. It's coming up in 10 years now. Neil's our head distiller here at Geterbrewed, and we had an interest in starting a craft distillery. We're involved in the craft beer side of things and went looking as to where we could get a copper pot still. So the two choices were basically China or Portugal. Waiting lists were long for both, and Neil's an engineering background, and I thought we'll have a go at making it ourselves. So the copper's locally sourced, manufactured by a company based in Toom, which is a stone throw from here. So local engineers used some consultants to keep us right with specific things like anti-vac and anti-pressure valves. We learnt a lot along the way, and to say you probably spotted that the thermometers were pointing up. We need to use a step ladder to get up them, so you learn everything.
Well, as you do it.
As you do it. So for me, passion project, named it after my grandparents, Frankie and Eileen, and we wanted to make a liquid that was really pure and flavoursome, that could be enjoyed neat. So Neil, tell the viewers how you got interested in distilling.
Well, I had an interest in craft distilling for about 7 years, and I've been with Johnny now for around about 8, so the interest within craft beer pushed me towards this. And then one day I decided to say, could we have a go at doing craft? But the idea of buying a still, as John said, just wasn't possible to do. And to be honest with you, for me as an interest in distilling, buying a machine takes the word craft completely out of it. So we wanted to do it from, as John said, from start to go on our own. Not to say we had bought it. We already had this brewback system that was sitting, which is a 200. And we thought, well, here we have the main part of it still. As Jonathan said, let's get the rest of it set up, and away we go. Now I won't say when we got it going that everything came out perfect the first time. It took quite a while to get there. As I say, we still are in the process of doing it, but now we're able to tweak our machine to the way we want to get our liquid out of it. We're doing quite well at it. It's obviously...
Well, it's a credit to Neil. He's distilling award-winning liquid at the end of the day. Like, we contract distill for a few local distilleries, but we make our own liquid, Frankie and Eileen's. And like, without those little tips and tricks and nuances that you've picked up on how to get the best out of this machine, I don't think the liquid would be that good.
There's a lot more to just putting it into the pot still, reading your temperatures, bringing it out, and everybody thinks then that's it, it's ready to go. It's not. Yeah. There's a bit of thought goes in behind it too. There's a bit of waiting time, there's a bit of patience. There's generally, we could put it out quicker, you know that yourself, we could run it out, but we just would not get what we're looking for at the end of it.
Maybe if you're looking at this and you don't know anything about distilling, part of what happens is, you know, we take a different approach and hot steep the botanicals for a few days before we even run the still. So you get more flavour there. We've got a botanical basket here which picks up the delicate botanicals as the vapour passes over them. But the key thing is that when Neil's distilling, he's here all day, constantly testing, taking measurements, and you know, the heads, the hearts and the tails. So you've a little blend of 4 shots I always see you with, and then you're collecting the best hearts, and you never run it by a certain temperature, so it's always super pure.
Always kept the same, so we'll go by our temperatures and we'll be using our graphs and our books to make sure that we're in the right position where we want to be. We don't want to go over it because obviously we've changed our design and the way we want our liquid to go, so we're very careful of what we put in and we're very careful what we keep out of it, so we are.
If you try a gin neat at home, now I don't want to go naming the macro brands, just sip a neat gin at home. Some of them paint stripper comes to mind, but they do exceptionally well. And what I like about this gin and any of the gins that we contract distill for people here, if you sip it neat, it's full of flavour.
Yeah, that's what I tell most people. Go, if you want to try our gin, don't mix it up first. Try it neat, actually see what the gin tastes like before you go. Put a mixer in it and lemon in it, whatever, you've just changed everything completely. Enjoy our work, like that's how we've designed it, you know yourself. We wanted it where people could sit and drink it with just a nice wee bit of ice and sip quite happily, and not tonic here, tonic there, 7-Up and everything else into it, because that's basically just changed everything that we as a distiller have been trying to make right is the flavours that come through on the gin itself.
Take the viewers watching this very briefly through a distillation run.
After we do our hot steep at a specified temperature that I'm not going to sort of tell you, John, we'll run the still for around about 7 hours, so we will. At this, we'll start off at a low temperature and we'll run it right up to where we're going to get our tails at. Yeah. So once the ethanol starts to go through with our ingredients on the inside, the steam will start to rise up and the ethanol will rise up with some of the flavours and it'll go in around the cobber, which will take some flavouring from around the cobber, so it will. So once done, then we get up to our temperature and everything starts to flow through our copper, we'll get to our basket. In here we'll keep some of our more delicate botanicals, so we will. They'll travel on through then into our chiller. We've got two 10mm coils in here, so we pump cold water into this, and the idea is to take the steam back down, back into its proper form, which is liquid, so it's cooling it really quickly, and we want to cool it really quickly so we can collect it. So when we collect it from there, we'll only keep certain parts of it, John. We'll only keep our heart, so we'll be measuring it this time.
So you've got your alcohol in here with your botanicals. That's mixing and heating, and it's transferring up across the lie arm through the botanical basket and into the chilling unit. I always see you're always collecting multiple different jars, so what are they called?
Well, they're the 4 shots, so I keep 4 of them all together and I'll keep them at a certain level of where I want to do them, so I'll be having a wee slight taste every now and again to see where that perfect taste is, what I'm looking for. I'll keep it past at the end of it, I'll collect all my hearts out and then I'll bring that one back over to the table again and I'll start to do a wee bit of blending just where I want to get it perfect to my taste or where we know where I want to be. So they're all the secret wee ends and bits that we put together to give us the flavour that we want.
Is that why you're always sitting a teaspoon?
Yeah. So for other customers that we do for, their blends will be completely different, so I'll not collect at a higher or a lower temperature than I would for ours. So in every one I've got a certain temperature I'll be looking for these 4 shots, and I'll be looking for my hearts and my tails at the end of it.
So you've collected multiple different samples of distillate and then you blend them. And what do you do after you blend them?
After we blend them, then we'll go to our RO water, we'll cut our gin down to 42%, and then we'll put it into our chiller.
So you chill the gin down to remove the luge. What causes the luge? Is that the botanicals?
It's the heavy oils in the botanicals, basically. What's happening is when people start to mix it again, the mixer or the water, whatever they're putting into it, is starting to break the heavy oils back away again from the ethanol. That's basically what that's doing. So we want to prevent that. So we'll chill that down to a lower temperature than most people will be putting ice in or a liquid, and then that stops that from happening. It leaves it quite clear.
Right, talking of gin, let's get a bottle of gin and go and pour 1 or 2, or Dylan, 3?
3, yeah. I thought you'd never ask.
This is our gin, and as we had said, it can be appreciated neat. It's very much, you know, there is a strong juniper nose on it, and then I get citrus. How many botanicals do we have in this in total?
So we have 11 botanicals in this in total.
So when I stick my nose into the gin, it's definitely a lot of juniper on the nose. And citrus. Now, what's giving it that layer of complexity?
Well, to give it the citrus note that you're getting at the end, we'll put some bitter orange into our basket at the end because it's a very delicate botanical. So it is, we've got juniper in it, we've got coriander in it, but what probably makes it unique to ourselves is we use some potato peeling and some pea pods in along with the basket as well, just to give it a wee bit of an earthy flavour. As you can get it through on your the flavour as well.
It's warming, like, isn't it?
It's nice, and it's not too heavy of an alcohol burn after. It's nice to drink.
The bit that I like about this is it's clean and pure. Like, I named this after my 2 grandmothers, so Granny Frankie and Granny Eileen. Now sadly they're not with us anymore. Granny Frankie was still here whenever we launched this. Neither of them were big drinkers. That's the hilarious thing about this, you know. But I guess I wanted to put a bit of a personal touch on this product. You'll see in the design, like Ali Simpson done an awesome job in this. Belfast City Hall and the Giant's Causeway. the reasoning behind that is Granny Frankie was from the city originally, and Granny Eileen, she was from the Glens of Antrim, up near the causeway. So we thought we would use a little bit of their heritage. Now, I talk about it being, you know, gin brewed with compromise, love, compassion. Two families coming together, one from the town, one from the country. It's not a marketing story. It's our life. It's my parents' life, and it was basically us looking at a way of forging a relationship with a product where we can come with a genuine story and say, here's our gin, here's our backstory. And we've done that really well by using local craftsmen, local head distiller, local design team. Thanks to John and George, who did a bit of the consultant work on the still. Thanks to Cahill from Copper Industries, who basically put our idea together. Yeah. But this is a gin that we want you to try for its flavour. Now, you've mentioned some botanicals. I take it you're not going to give the whole...
I'm not going to give you the whole lot, no. That's a trade secret, so it is, as I say, that's only me knows that, and you at certain times, but like the temperatures, that's for me to keep.
Yeah, so look, for me, I like this gin. I like sipping it neat, but you wouldn't sit and drink neat gin all night. For me, a chunk of grapefruit and soda water is awesome. Like whenever we launched the gin, we come up with a few perfect serves. Like gin and tonic's perfect with lemon or lime. I like it with grapefruit and soda. It's going to work with any of the, like we have a selection of fruits from the orchard greengrocers in Randallstown here. Anything will work with this. It's a great base, whether you like tonic, soda water, or hibiscus tonic, or whatever it is. So if you're looking to get hold of Frankie Eileen's gin, it's on Geterpoured.com, and it's in the local independent off licenses in the area around here. If you're ordering online, it goes with DHL express shipping. You can get the glasses on the website too, so you can have the perfect serve. If you're interested in botanicals, whether it be for your own gin distillery or you're a brewer, all grain brewer, and you want to experiment with some botanicals in your next batch of beer, we stock them here. So we source, I suppose I can touch a little bit in the botanicals without giving too much away. So Macedonian juniper berries, unique thing with juniper berries is they're hand foraged. So they sort of tap a stick on the bush to make the berries fall off. We use English coriander seed rather than the Bulgarian or whatever other alternatives there is out there. Citrus peels come from all over, but Spain for the orange, lemon. We use some grains of paradise, which work exceptionally well in beer. Cassia bark, trying to think what else. Like the selection that we have in botanicals is enormous. Hibiscus, rose petals, cubebs. Probably said that wrong. But look, we don't just make the gin here. We can make a batch of gin for your bar, restaurant, hotel. We can contract distill a batch if you're thinking of getting a brand off the ground. We have the botanicals if you're a brewer or distiller. So we are a true one-stop shop here. So Neil, thanks for your time today. And
hope you enjoy.
Yeah, if you have any questions on distilling, don't hesitate to reach out now. The proviso in this, it's important that you've got all the legals in place if you're going to open a distillery. That's a complex thing, so get it right and don't get caught with your trousers down. I'm not going to sell this to you through a lens, right? But the flavour in this is so pure, so clean, so deep with like complexity. So you're getting all that purity of the alcohol with all the balance and complexity, all the different layers. There's earthy notes, there's citrus notes, there's juniper on the nose, there's like a whole, like it coats the mouth, it's warming, it's delicate, it's stunning in my opinion. Like, so we want you to buy this gin, we want you to sip it neat and try it, but it's just as good with a mixer, so let's check that out. go. Chunk of grapefruit, some soda water. You can mix it with anything. Cheers.